of them. Oh, yay. So it's all marked on here, who called me back, who didn't, who who needs a follow-up from me ultimately, to say, hey, you missed my sale, but do you need anything?
Yeah.
So it was remarkable. And I think part of that is the theory of, if you have a glass full of water, i.e. something in your past that you need to deal with, that you haven't emptied the water glass, then you start pouring more water in it. Guess what? It goes everywhere. And so I feel like I emptied my glass of water. And now I can kind of go, oh, okay, I don't really have to be, I don't know, fearing rejection or whatever.
No, you don't. And if you fear it, you create it. Whatever we think about, we create. That, and there's really only two choices: fear or love. That's it. Pretty simple. You fear rejection, you get rejection. You embrace love. I'm going to keep giving. I'm going to let go of all the negatives. I'm going to protest. I'm going to release them. And you get that. You get more and more love. Okay. It's just getting people, excuse me, I think I have COVID. It's no fun. It's just getting people to do it. That is my main struggle. Everybody understands it. There's no, Pat, that's BS. You don't know what you're talking about. Everybody gets it. But what I have to do and what you have to do is wear down the resistance of your people to do it. Okay. First, I got to wear down your resistance. Then you got to pass it on.
Right.
Yeah. With the feeling, and you can even tell them, look, this is what I learned. You're not paying money to go into a class. I am giving you this, and you either get it. You get it, and we're going to keep working on it till you get it, or you keep resisting and you keep getting a bad outcome. Your choice.
Right. Well, thank you for that, Pat. And I really hope you don't have COVID.
Pretty sure I do.
Crap.
Yeah, my doctor, I took a test yesterday and it was negative, but he said it was too soon. He said, I think you probably have it, and I'm going to take another test today, and then I'm going to see him at 3. So.
Is this all from last week?
What?
Is this all from last week when you were sick?
No.
Okay.
No. I started feeling bad on Sunday. This week. Monday. Yeah, it's okay. Sorry. I probably maxed. It's all right. I got it handled. I'm here. I'm a strong woman.
Right. Woo. Go power.
I'm maxed to the max too. So that's the sad thing about that. But I was out all weekend with friends, and all right, enough of that. Okay. I will be fine. I am fine. I choose to be fine. Okay. Who's next? Share. Jump in. Come on, ladies.
I'll share. It's Naomi.
Okay, Naomi.
I'm gonna hide in my garage. I told the girls, Pat, you're not on this chat, but I sent the girls a picture of my cute little 3-year-old who's in big trouble because he's peed on the floor. He's ruined my unit awards posters, and he did artwork on the walls.
Of course. Yeah. Well, yeah, hide from your children. I recommend that. That's a good idea.
I know.
Okay.
Anyway, on a more pertinent note, I just got back from Tampa, and I had extra time we were on a little family vacation. I had some extra time to read. So I got a little more caught up on Stop Self-Sabotage. And I've read it before, but I mean, most of it, I don't remember reading it. I'm like, I know I read this. And I realized I had 2 thoughts that I wanted to share. I realized that I have been doing the sabotage of resignation and like, oh, if I'm more successful than I am now, I won't really be able to take care of my family. So, therefore I can't be more successful. So I've been working on that, and
that's the either or stuff too. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It surprised me because I didn't think I was doing that. But once I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds way too familiar. And then there's a section in there where you wrote about that people likely do not know what they want, but they more often know what they don't want.
Yeah.
And I had the thought when I do interviews with potential recruits of focusing on that. Instead of saying, okay, what do you want to be different a year from now in your life? And, see if Mary Kay can help with that. Just like, what don't you want? You don't want to be in debt. Okay, Mary Kay can help with that. You don't want to, be stuck in a dead end job. Okay, Mary Kay, that it just shifted my thinking a little bit. So I'm really interested to try it out.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to hear how that goes too, Naomi, because I've never suggested to anyone to do that in an interview, but I think it may have particular relevance now too. Yeah. What don't you want? What don't you want to have in your life? And what are the things that you have that you don't want? Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll try it out.
And what I like about that, Naomi, is that it takes it it drills it down in terms of the conversation. It becomes a deeper conversation because they're telling you something that they have in their lives that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more intimate than being able to say, oh, I want this, I want that. That can be a little bit poofy, a little bit, aspirational, which is great. You want to flip it to what they do want, but to have them talk about what they don't want, I think is particularly contactful.
I hope so. I'm gonna try it because I don't know if anyone else on the call has this experience, but I feel like when I ask what they want, I get cliches.
Yeah.
Oh, I want, I want to be able to pay for my kids' college and stuff, but they don't even really think about like, or I want to take the kids to Disney. Well, 98% of America wants to take their kids to Disney. And then I'm in the 2% that wants to pay for someone else to take my kids to Disney, I mean, but I'm just excited. It was a new thought and I'm just super excited to try it out.
I love that. I really do. I love that. I never would have thought of it, but thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Well, if you ever publish it, feel free to send me some royalties.
I will. I did publish it. You're reading it. Seems to me I did do that. Yeah. But okay. Yeah. Good. Yay. You're going to give royalties when you get the people for sure. Yeah.
Oh yes.
But even if you don't get them, you will have a conversation with someone that they will remember in a way that you don't remember. Oh, I want a new car. Oh, I want a trip. Yeah. I mean, they're a little bit too fluffy to be sticky. You know what I mean by sticky? Like stick to you.
Yeah.
So, but what I don't want or the life I'm living that I don't like and I would like to change, that arc is much more intimate, really is. Yeah, good psychotherapeutic question. Okay, good. So you've gotten that. Anything else that Naomi was here?
No, not particularly. We had a fun time in Tampa and I feel blessed that I can work my business while being on vacation and, still able to do a little bit here and there. So that was a blessing.
Yeah. Yay. Good. Okay. Who else? Maria, want to chime in? How's this week been?
This week's been a little wild. I'm traveling to Nebraska tomorrow. So I've been reflecting on like, I need an out of town travel protocol because I think I try to fit too much in. So even I was getting my nails done and the lady's like, relax. And I was like, oh, right. Like relax everything. But I think I was just like, I need to stop and do a brain dump of like things and that I need to put in the suitcase and all of that. So, but I'm looking forward to, I've reframed my mindset on traveling and getting to fill my bucket and not putting so much pressure on the event. So I'm excited. Actually, even though I did feel a little bit like there's a lot to do in a short amount of time, I do feel so much better about traveling just from previous conversations that we've had, because I was putting so much pressure on the event, and I've released myself and said, hey, I'm going to have no kids and get my bucket filled. And I still need to write my training. So you could definitely pray for me. One of my consultants that was supposed to come called me and said she wasn't coming this morning. So I think that just kind of added to, well, actually it made less stuff. She was going to spend the night at my house. So I'm like, okay, a few less things to do. The room doesn't quite have to be as clean as it was going to be. Yeah. So I'm excited to go. And I had a thought with you, Bethany, just when you were sharing about the release, did this class just pop up in your life? Like it felt to me like this was something you didn't even know that you were carrying around, and then you got the gift of releasing it. And I think why it's appealing to me is we've been going through all this counseling with my brother, and there's this program called Onsite, and they've recommended it for him, but now they're starting to say, whoa, maybe your whole family needs this. And I was feeling a little resistant. Like I don't have undealt with trauma. And I just felt myself pushing back because I feel like I've done so much work, but you just sharing that this got introduced into your life and you did it and you walked, brave enough to step in. I think you were leading it, right? Or no, but you were a part of this group, right? And just what you were describing, like the release and the freedom, I was like, oh, maybe I need to explore why I'm pushing back on even entertaining the idea that this isn't for me, it's for my brother.
So super quick, how it came to me, a friend referred me to be a part of this study. In order to be a leader, you have to do the study a couple of times. Okay. So I was a participant and I went in resistant the whole time. I'm like, this has been 16 years since my first miscarriage and 14 years from the one after that. And I'm good. I got 3 kids. They're all grown. They're out of my house. Yay. And right. So I didn't need this until we ripped off the Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just ugly. It was ugly. And I had no idea, no conceptualization of any of it.
Yeah.
So do I recommend that you do what they're, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Maria. Yeah. I mean, you and I had a one-on-one. I think it would be a great addition. And I think it would help not only, your family of origin, but your current family and your Mary Kay business. I think it will help everywhere. They're really, okay, you're talking to a shoemaker about shoes, talking to a psychotherapist about therapy, so you got to put that in. But there really is no negative negative outcome. I think it comes from doing work on yourself.
Right.
You're only going to get better. You're not going to get worse. The only way is up. And personal development doesn't go down, goes up. So yes. While it's fresh, while you're uncovering it, while it's palatable, I would.
Yeah, because my other question was like, oh, do you get to a place where you're just truly like you don't need therapy anymore?
Yeah.
That was my other thought. Like, when is there? Because I know that I was thinking this is a finite game, and I'm like, oh man, this is an infinite game. Like personal development keeps going. But then I was like, how will you know when you have truly effectively dealt with something and you are at, an emotionally strong place, or what does that look like? Or can you tell with people that you're talking to that, hey, they've worked through this and they really are at a healthy place?
Can I tell? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. And I can tell by how they leave. If they leave a group or if they leave a therapy and they run and they don't let people know and they aren't thoughtful about it, they're not done. If, on the other hand, you say, I love this group, it's been wonderful, but I feel like I'm done, and I just want to tell you all that, get feedback. People say, okay, we get it, we see it, you reached your goals, then you're done. The other thing is you can reach a plateau and be fine for a long time, like Bethany was saying, and then a Band-Aid gets ripped off, and then if you deal with it, the hurt or the issue will go away faster, for sure. Now, personal sharing, right? I have an issue with my dad and money. My dad was, he would quote me how much money I cost him. I mean, literally, he kept a running tab. And so, yeah, 30 years of therapy. So anyway, I have a very frugal husband who's very, frugal. And so when some of that frugality comes up, I bristle. I go like this. Now, that means I'm not done, okay? But I know what it is. I know what it is. And I try to explain it, and we work on it, and we try to get to a point where I don't have to walk into it, okay? Now, I may never be done with that. I may always have an ouchie there, ouch, but it no longer controls me or cripples me. I'm in charge of it. I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So those two things, right? Feedback from others, your own personal feelings, feedback from others, and knowing that you can deal with it if you get punched. And you will get punched. People do. I mean, we walk into our issues all the time. A lot of times I walk into an issue and I go, oh, that's interesting. I just shrug it off. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I go, ouch. But I know what it is.
When you're saying you go ouch, is that because you're emotionally connecting to it, or what's the difference between shoving like, oh, I can identify this as something, and being like, okay, and the ouch is what? Where you like feel emotionally wounded? What do you mean by ouch?
Yeah. I feel annoyed, angry, don't want to hear it, heard it too much. My life, that's my ouch.
Okay. But you can tell by your reaction whether you're like, oh, okay, this is a little trigger. Like I call it getting to, like, I'm like, oh, that just triggered a whole bunch of crazy. I know it's just in my Maria verbiage to understand.
Yeah, I would stop with the crazy. It triggered a whole bunch of memories. And I can deal with it.
And is that when, if you have the time, you would do like the feel, deal, feel, heal? What is the actual order, Pat? I'm so sorry. I've been quoting that and I just throw all three out and I'm like, I don't know what order, you guys, but I know that healing.
You have to feel it first. Feel it first. That makes sense. Then you deal with it. Dealing with it, expressing it. Healing it is releasing it.
Okay.
So it goes in a chronological order. To feel it, have to deal with it, then you have to heal from it.
Okay.
Feel, deal, heal.
And even though you release something, it could still be a pattern that comes up somewhere else, even though you've feel and heal and deal with it. But then in that case, you could be like, okay, I've processed this before.
Yeah. I mean, it's like doing the laundry. Do you ever get to a place where you have to stop doing the laundry? No.
I wish that it just ended.
Yeah.
There's always more.
Mental laundry, my dear darling. It's mental laundry. Gotta do the laundry. If you want it clean, you do the laundry.
That's a good analogy because sometimes I put stuff like right now, I just did like a heavy duty load versus like the quick wash, which finally this washer, it's actually 30 minutes and not quick wash an hour. I don't know when quick wash became like the dishwasher cycle. The quick one is 2 hours. Like what is happening, people? But
Yeah.
that is great because there's some stuff that needs to be like it's soiled and you got to soak it pre-wash and then it needs to go through the heavy duty. Yeah.
Yeah, but laundry is neutral, okay? When you start labeling it crazy, in some way you make yourself crazy, okay? So I want to get to neutrality. This is my history. I know what it is. I know how I didn't like it then. I don't like it now when I get triggered. I feel it, I express it, and then I let it go.
I like that. I know. I've been recently because the Al-Anon, they say the word serenity all the time, and I always just write it down. Like that sounds so wonderful. Like
It does, but what the hell does it mean? I don't know what it means, frankly.
for me, it means the opposite of crazy, like to be at peace or calm.
Yeah, but that's an ephemeral state. Serenity does not last, nor does crazy.
Right.
None of them last. Feelings don't last. They're there. And if you deal with them, you process them, they can be released. But any feeling, anger, sadness, like I'm going to cry forever. No, you're not. You really aren't. You're going to stop. You're going to get tired of it. It's going to wear you out. You know, I'm going to be mad forever. No, you aren't. If you deal with it and release it. Last session with the people, I was spending a lot of time protesting with them. I said, you know, I know where you resist. I know what's going on, guys. Come on. Get in there. So it's doing the laundry. Doing laundry. And, you know, give it about as much intensity as that, you know? I'm doing the laundry. That's what I'm doing. You know, I'm good. Laundry will be clean. I'll be fine. Ready to roll. So delete crazy. You of all people were not crazy. You. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Chris, how about you? What kind of week you having, Chris?
Hello there.
Hello.
I sound a little raspy because I have what's called the Dodger hangover. Because we were at the Dodger game yesterday. So it's like, I
What do you
didn't
mean?
get to bed till 1:45, which is like, I get up at 5 o'clock. So anyway, but we had a great time. Well, I did my homework. I did my homework.
Oh, Chris, love you.
Look at all these pages of journaling.
Okay.
About my dear sweet mother.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time this week in that because you had encouraged me and I guess challenged me also in some ways to really dig into that experience. And I know Bethany wasn't here last week, but I told the story of when I was 5 or 6 years old, and my mom always talked about, we don't have the money for that. We don't have the money for that. So I have this lack mentality. And one time when I was really little, she left me in the middle of the Piggly Wiggly because there was something I wanted at the grocery store and she couldn't afford it. And I didn't realize until I started, till I think I was journaling from something else we talked about. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, like that is still there. I thought I dealt with that. But the funny thing, well, not funny, but the unique piece about it is that it's a story that's been continually told my whole entire life. In like a lighthearted way, but yet from my mom's perspective, she was doing what was necessary to curb my behavior, right? For me to be compliant, which I was the most compliant child she had. I really was, because I had a brother right ahead of me that was, you know, stealing batteries out of cars and skipping school.
Yeah.
She was finding oregano in his room. I'm like, that's not oregano, Mom, not oregano. Anyway, so I was journaling, I journaled it, and I was just like, wow, it's, and I'm not going to use the word crazy now, but it's so amazing when we realize that you don't think something like that is negative necessarily, because your parent is trying to parent you in the moment. But yet that, combined with the messaging that I heard in the house about we don't have enough, we don't have enough, we don't have enough, is created a behavior in me that I actually create lack. Because this is what I learned from the journaling, because it's my comfort zone. Which, that's the crazy part to me. It's like, how can that even be your comfort zone? But because in my first marriage, I was the breadwinner. We never had enough, right? And that's not the case in this marriage, but yet I create it in different ways. And so I didn't even realize I was doing that. But it goes all the way back to that moment when I was journaling it. I realized, oh my gosh, and I could pinpoint all these times in my life where I allowed myself not to succeed, because if I did succeed, I would be outside of lack.
Right. Yeah.
Like, now that is crazy.
Well,
I mean,
I opposed crazy, but okay.
you know what I mean? It's
that's
just like,
program.
you don't
program.
realize you're doing it. Like, why would you even do that to yourself? Because it's familiar. And I was thinking of the book that we read. What is it, Maria? Bruce Wilkinson. Oh, Dream Giver. It's a little parable book, and it's about a fictitious character that lives in the land of familiar, and nobody wants him to leave. They all want him to stay there because it's the comfortable place. So anyway, so that was the outcome of my journaling, is that I actually have over the years been creating, even in those moments where like I'm right there for the abundance, I pull back and put myself back into the place of lacking.
Yeah. Okay. And you know, Chris, one of the things I like so much about you is that you're such a good student. You know, you really do. You really do the work. I mean, the work on an academic level. I want you to start doing the work on the emotional level. I want to take this down. I want to dig it down. All right. So, let me be your mom. What will you say to me? As you're Chris, I'm your mom. What would you like to say to me about how you want to change that experience you had with her?
What do I want to say to her about how I want to change?
Well, yeah. What do you want to say about how you just came up with? Hold on, I'm trying to see you better. All right, hold on a second. What do you want to say? What do you want to say to me? Let me be her. I'm not her. She's never going to know. Okay. This is essentially called a Gestalt interaction. And I want you to talk to me from your new knowledge about your being raised.
Okay.
Mom, whatever you want to say. What do you want to say?
Okay. Okay, Mom. So remember that day in the Piggly Wiggly that I've heard the story about my entire life?
Yep, I do.
What were you trying to do in that moment?
What
What was your purpose in
keep
leaving me
I
in
was
the
trying
store?
to keep you in line. I was trying to keep you in line.
Okay. and I understand that from a parent's perspective, but I want to give you a different perspective of the life choice I made because of that moment that I didn't even know I had made, but I am not going to live there anymore. So I made the choice at that point at 5 or 6 years old, because I heard the messaging often that we didn't have enough, which I know was the fact of where we were in life. And then in that moment, it also caused me to feel small and less than, and that I didn't deserve more than what we had in that moment, which was nothing, according to you. So in that moment, I subconsciously chose to live there, and I've been living there. I'm 50, I'll be 57 in 2 weeks, and I've been living there ever since that. So 50 years. Wow. I've been living there for 50 years. So I'm choosing not to live there anymore. So I'd really like to not hear that story from you anymore. Or if you're going to tell it, I want it to be told differently, I guess. But I don't want to live there anymore.
Okay, good. Let me step out from being your mom for a second. That's good. Now I want you to come back and tell me strongly what you do want. Mom, I want. Go ahead.
I don't know if I know what I want. I want an abundant life. I want to live an abundant life. I don't want to live small. I don't want to live in lack. And I really don't want to hear that from you anymore.
Okay.
You know, do you realize that's pretty much all you talk about?
Still?
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, that's pricey. I hear that all the time. Oh, wow, that's really pricey. Like, oh, really? It's kind of
Yeah.
like,
Well,
but yet my mom has, to preface it, my mom has always been so afraid to go back to that point that she has done really well for herself financially now, but she's got all this and she's 80 and it's like, spend it, have fun with it. Right?
yeah, sure.
Sure. So
Okay, let me step out from being your mom for a second. I'm not sure you're going to get her to change. You know, but I'm pretty sure you're not. But let me be you for a minute and you be your mom. Okay, now this is never going to be said to her, right? Mom, I want you to stop it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing I don't deserve it. I do deserve it. And I'm not listening anymore. You can talk all you want about pricey this, pricey that. I refuse to hear it. Not for me. I want abundance. Be your mom.
well, I never said that to you, so I don't know what the issue is. She doesn't know she says it.
Okay, well.
I mean, he would just say, that's ridiculous. You need to get over yourself. It just was the reality of the way we were living.
Now, okay, you're really not talking to your real mom. You're talking to the mom in your head that is still saying this to you. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So, all
but
right.
to me, it's the same person.
Well, yeah, there's a real mom, and then there's the mom in your head. And they've been saying the same thing to you, and you've been compliant because you're a good kid. Okay. So we want to break off now and leave the real mom doing whatever she's doing. Okay. But the mom in your head, you can control. And it's the mom in your head you need to tell off. You need to tell her to stop it, knock it off. I'm protesting this. I choose abundance. Okay, so let me be the mom in your head. Tell me off.
I did write that down. What did I write? I
So
choose
just-
abundance and I choose to believe in
Say-
wealth. What?
Okay, just do it with me here. Be in the moment here.
Okay.
You don't have to write. You don't have to think about it. Just tell me. I choose. Go ahead.
I choose abundance. I want to choose abundance. I don't want to choose lack anymore. I don't want to live there. I'm sick of it.
Good.
Tired of it. It's draining.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel when you say that?
I feel strong and confident.
Okay, good. You believe it?
Do I believe it? Probably not 100%. Honestly, yet, but I mean, 50 years, I gotta work on it, I think, for a while.
Little protesting. We need you to protest. Okay, just one more go around here. Put your hand up, shake your fist at me. I'm your mom near your head. Shake your fist. You, shake your fist at me.
That's really not who I am, though.
You know, Chris, it better get it to be who you are, because you're not going to get out of this until you can integrate that. You can't just be cerebral with this. It's got to connect emotionally. Okay, you've got to fight for your right to be in abundance. You were a good girl, you know, God love you. You're still a lovely, wonderful woman. However, I'm trying to get you to really own abundance. And you're not going to get there until you can fight for yourself. You with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that hard. Come on, just shake your fist a little bit. I want abundance.
I want abundance.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with that. I have to work on it.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not comfortable at all.
I don't care if you're comfortable. I really don't. I care that we get you to believe it. That's what I care about. Okay. Everybody's uncomfortable doing this. There's not a woman I meet that's going, oh, I love doing this. Nobody, you know, you're with everybody. Who's comfortable with it? I get it. I get it. Okay. So I'm going to lay off, but do it in your shower. Turn up the volume on a radio. Take a good shower. Your husband's at work. Okay. And start shaking your fist, stomping your feet, and telling the world, I claim abundance. I deserve it. With me?
Yep.
And see if we can get you down to really feeling it. Because you have everything a good Mary Kay sales director needs. Everything. And we got to get you there. And that is my personal commitment to you, to fight for you. And a lot of times with my clients, I have to fight for them before they fight for themselves. And I may have to fight them. Not trying to be argumentative here. What I'm trying to do is light a fire under your ability to protest. Because once you can do that, once you get it, and you will, you are going for it.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing will hold you back. Okay? You got everything else. You're charming, you're bright, you're fun. You got everything else. But you have this lid on your abundance. Okay? And you've talked about it. You know, being compliant, being a good girl, and you're understanding it more. That's fabulous. Fabulous. Got to have that first. Now we're going to own it. Okay?
Gotcha.
Let's hear some feedback from your friends here on this call. Anybody got feedback for Ms. Chris?
Yeah, I wanted to do the fist and fight your mom because I don't like you not being in your power. I feel like
Mom in her head. Yeah.
yes, I mean the mom in your head, of course, because I know you love your mom, but I felt like, well, I'll punch the computer for you. But I do feel like what you're saying is find your fight in the shower or pull that, allow yourself to get mad. Even though I know it wasn't your mom's intention or what she thought she was doing the best thing for you, but if it hasn't served you, it's your choice to release it. And I think we just want you, we want you to have abundance. I want you to have abundance. You
Yes,
have the biggest heart. You're the most generous. I mean, Chris, as much as you already give, if you had more to give, think how much more fun gift giving would be if you just had even more. You're already so altruistic. But if this is what's stopping you, get it together in the shower and get it done, right? Okay, that's my activator. I know Bethany had something to share too. I just was like, ah!
I know. I felt the exact same way. I'm like, get in there, Chris. I'm fine. You know, I was like, come on, we got this. You know,
You got your
so
team.
Chris, I know we're like, yeah, get in there. What are we doing? One of the things that I was so surprised about is, and Pat, I don't know if where I got this idea, but writing a letter. And then, was it you? Of course it was you. Anyway, probably from Stop Self Sabotage when I reread it, like Naomi, you know, reread it before I started this group. Yeah, that happened. And so one of the things with the letter though, I have ceremoniously shredded it or burned it, or you know what I'm saying? Like I said some horrible, hateful things in the letter. And then I'm like, okay, up in smoke. Right?
Yeah. You can do that as well. And that's another part of the grief and saying no. But as I have known Chris, you know, I think that the protest is something we really need to get to. Because the letter is more about saying goodbye. And this is really saying hello. This is saying hello to a new strength, a new non-compliance, you know, a new breakthrough abundance. That's what we're going for here. And, you know, I want people to be able to do it all. Of course, you can write a letter, that's fine. But it's not going to get us exactly what I think we need here. But I'm glad it helped you. Yours was about saying goodbye, Bethany. I mean, in some ways with the reproductive stuff. This is just a touch different here. Amanda, what do you think? Let's hear from you.
Well, okay. So, what do I think about Chris or what, just anything? Okay. Well, so Chris, I think part of me, can 100% relate to you and where you're at. Cause I think some of the crazy thing, so kind of not to go backwards, but going back to what Bethany was talking about, and then what Maria was talking about, how you think you've dealt with something and you haven't. There's stuff I didn't know I hadn't dealt with until we got into this group. And then I started hearing, you know, some things that were familiar to me, especially Chris. I don't think my parents were a little different in that they lived bigger than they had. So it was kind of the opposite. We weren't told that we didn't have anything. We were always told we could have, but then we didn't live. It was like we pretended that like on the outside, we looked like we had, and then we didn't have, right? So as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking all the things I would have said to my own mom. I'm like, come on, Chris, get in there because I want to do the same thing with you. And in my head, I was punching my mom in my head, not punching, but, you know, I was really fist up and putting my own mom in my head, my mom and dad, just for like, you know, because I'm the opposite of like, I always worry I'm spending too much and I look like I'm spending more than I should. And like, and that comes from the same kind of, I mean, it's that programming we get, right? It's that reality of the programming that we're or that programming of a reality that we're getting from our parents. Anyway, I think with Chris, you are just such a gentle heart. Like for you, the default is gentle. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I hope it didn't come out wrong. But it's like, well, I can just default to I'm okay with it. But really, like I think you do need to punch some pillows. Go over to Maria's and punch some pillows. I love that she has her daughter punching pillows now because when she has a really bad day as an adult, she's gonna have a coping mechanism. So like,
Michaela will punch pillows anytime with you. She loves that.
yeah, and I just like, Chris, what is your what? So when I get angry, like I know what I do when I'm angry. I'm an exerciser. When I get angry, I'm like, rah, rah, I'm slaying my calories. Like I don't know what your thing is that you do. So maybe punching isn't your, like maybe putting your fists up isn't yours, but like you gotta get that out somehow. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, okay. I don't care if you punch. I don't care. What I care is that you express it.
Right.
And you know, and if you want to just yell in your shower, that's fine. I don't, I need to work, we need to work on dealing with it, which is expression. Okay? You know what it is, you feel it, you've got a new understanding. Now we need to express it, then we release it. Okay, that's how it goes. Feel, deal, heal. Okay, so you want to stomp around in your shower? Fine. I don't care if you do that. You want to hit some pillow? The last group, this great gal, Barbara, gets out of group for a minute. She comes back. She's got a bat and a pillow. She said, what do I do? And she had a toy bat she bought at a toy store. And she had one like one of those little foam pillows. She goes, fine, I don't care. Expression with it. That's why exercising alone doesn't do it. You may be running and thinking, I want abundance, but you're not saying it. Okay. It's the saying married with the physicality that gets it out.
Oh, I'm pretty sure people think I'm crazy, Pat, because when I'm exercising or running and I'm angry, I'm saying it out loud. I'm pretty sure I'm the crazy lady on the street because I've had some pretty aggressive moments, like especially dealing with the foster kids where I'm running and I'm like, you blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure they're like, okay, maybe she's listening to a really new song or something on her head. I was getting it.
Good for you. That's all right. It's all right. It's for a greater good.
And I think that's what I meant, Chris, is like, you are so good at processing and then like, you're a good filer. Tuck it away. Okay, it's there. You know, you tucked it away, and you organize all the thoughts, but you like, just like I think Pat was saying, is like, sometimes you just got to get ugly with them and be ugly with them, because if you don't get in them and really get emotional with them, and you did start to did anybody else catch that? You started to get emotional at the end. Like I could feel the tears welled up inside of you. I could feel the emotion. And I'm like, yes, go there. Or maybe you were just angry with Pat. And I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
That happens. But I'm immune because I'm doing it for the greater good.
Right.
So
no, I do get teary. That's kind of how I cry it out. I've always been that way. So, and no, I know you shouldn't care if we get angry at you, Pat, but because it's not you we're angry at, it's the situation and the fact that we're not dealing with it. But no, right. I didn't feel that at all. I know exactly why you're asking me to do what you're asking me to do.
Okay. Well, and the deal is that you love your mother and you're close to your mother, and you know she did her best. We all get that with our parents. Okay. However, there was a legacy that she left you that you internalized that you were not happy with. Okay. And you want something new. You don't want another 50 years of that legacy. To get the old done and the new put in, we have to cleanse ourselves of the old. Okay. And the way to cleanse, of course, is what you've been doing, which is journaling. You find it. Then you have to feel it. And you have to claim, and it usually takes some strength and anger, the new. You are not fighting your real life mother. You're fighting the mother in your head from 50 years ago, you know? So it's that we are changing or working on, okay? So that's, you know, as long as you understand that, then that 50-year-old comments that have been reinforced can be taken out without any guilt. Because there's no guilt in hurting your contemporary mother. She'll never know, but you're going to know, and you're going to feel different, and you're going to have a breakthrough. And that breakthrough is going to make you more money and get you to abundance. And I'm not sure you're going to get there without it, frankly. So this isn't something I'm saying that, hey, it's going to be nice if you did. I'm really saying you have to do. If you want what you say you want, you know? So, okay. And you do it in your own time. Do it in your shower, do it, you know, where you find time. Go to Maria's, you and Maria's daughter will have a great time with it.
Michaela would love to help you punch a pillow. She knows exactly how to do it. She likes to throw stuff too. But also I'd had the thought, like, how powerful is it going to be, Chris, the next time you're with your mom and she says, well, that's pricey. And it doesn't, you don't even hear it anymore because your evidence is completely changed, because she's still going to say stuff like that. Right. But that it's not something that you're not even going to hear it, or even it's not going to affect you now. Right now you hear it and you're like, oh, it's that layer or that trigger of that story. Versus the next time she can say it all she wants, but you're in such a powerful place that it's not affecting you.
I love that. And you'll see it in your production. You'll see it everywhere. Yeah.
It is double credit. It's like exponential power, people.
I know. Okay, so Amanda, you didn't get to share much of anything, so share a little bit. I got time. I'll make time.
I feel like I shared a lot last time, so I didn't want to take up this time. But you know, I'm just working on the present, being present and doing the one thing at a time. And actually it's kind of weird. I feel like I'm coping with things differently, so I'm not as chaotic when I'm doing it. This has been a very interesting 10 days, 11 days. So we had the first, like I was out there with y'all and I had that like aha of, I just need to build my life around me and quit building it around my consultants. Why would they want to become directors if I'm not showing them what the perks of directorship holds? And so I shifted that. And then I got in my head a little and was like, did I do the right thing? Am I blowing my people off? Am I not being a good coach? And then I said, you know what? You got to stop that. So I kind of had to work through it a little bit. But I mean, this week has been kind of a little bit chaotic. We're dealing with a few things, all with the foster kids. We had court today. Nothing other than what we expected, which is that the parents are going to fight the termination of their rights. And I literally had a very emotional 2 or 3 days of like, I don't want to lose my baby that I never knew I had, you know, this little boy that came into our lives. And I just I started really like, if I sit here in this moment of you need to work. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to lose him, but I don't know what could happen. I need to be present with him right now so there's no regrets. So I really am so thankful that I shifted, because instead of Monday night working, Monday night I spent with him after he got back from his first visit with his bio mom, since we've had him. And that was good for me because I didn't know how to be with him after he had just been with his mom. And if I had done what I normally do, which is go into work mode, become a workaholic to deal with everything else, then I would have just bypassed it instead of just dealing with the emotions right then and there.
Yep. Good. Yay.
I can feel myself processing differently.
Wow. Nice. Good. Okay. So Naomi, I haven't heard enough from you yet. I know you're hiding, but can you talk at all? Maybe not. She's on mute. She may be dealing with kids. Naomi? Well, I know you all are going to fall retreat. Many of you have a great time. Yeah, great time. We'll be back at our same time next week. And
Hey, Pat,
yeah,
Naomi and I go to our fall retreat next Thursday at 1. Just saying.
We are so good to you, aren't we? That we are so layered in different weeks that we just throw you off for like a whole month.
Well,
okay.
we can
Well,
also watch the recording too, because I believe it's just the two of us. So you guys have a full group without us.
yeah.
So
Would
it's
you?
okay.
Okay, because it really does throw things off, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And yeah, I was yeah,
Well,
because I wasn't there.
I mean, I would change it, but I don't know. Can all of you change it till Wednesday next week? Anybody have a big, you can, Maria? Chris, you can? Amanda can? Okay, so what if we changed it to 10 on Wednesday?
And I think Mackenzie can,
Yeah,
because she was doing some stuff for advance or something this morning, but
Okay.
before she said Wednesday would be fine.
Okay, let's do that then for you, because I did it for them. So
and
let's
you're
do it.
okay, Pat, on Wednesday next week? Or do
Yeah.
you have your other group at 10?
No,
Okay.
I don't have any groups on Wednesday at 10. No. So it's you guys, and so we need to tell Amy, and we need to tell Mackenzie, and you'll see Amy at the retreat, right, Maria?
I will,
Will
in
you,
person,
would you tell her,
and
please?
Mackenzie. I'll see both of them.
Okay, will you tell them, please?
100%. I'll spread the message.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate that, because Curtis is recovering from a stroke, and I'm gonna go lay down for the rest of the day. Okay, everybody, we're cool. Next Wednesday, 10 o'clock.